Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Monday. Okay, guys, so I wanted to say, obviously, you can tell that we're not doing hot, messy topics today or this week. We are literally in the midst of a move. So there's a lot going on, but thank you for bearing with us. We'll keep you posted on everything in the community tab. And right before you know it, we really have BravoCon and another big thing coming your way. So we're not back to talk about that. No, we're back to talk about Tamra Judge and Andy Cohen because she's answering for the you be quiet. And she's also talking about Shannon's toxic relationship. We have lots to go over. Before we jump in, do all the YouTube things, smash that like button, show some love, and let's jump right in. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. I know that I feel like, sorry guys, I'm sitting here playing with my Blue Mean because, listen, I get asked all the time. I just got back from a trip and my skin gets irritated so quick. So I partnered with this company called Blue Mean, and they have this fun little device here that just 3 times a week for 3 minutes, it uses microcurrencies to tighten my skin, firm my skin, lift, illuminate, and depuff my skin. And I wanted to share this with you because I get all of the questions. So I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. That way you guys can check it out. Normally it's $150, but you get $70 off with the link. And I don't think you want to miss this, especially because it's so easy. But yeah, with that, let's get into the Tamra Judge of it all because we have lots to go over and we have videos for you. There's always videos. Thank you to Reality Blurb. Tamra Judge is addressing her antics against Andy Cohen during the latest episode of her shared podcast with Teddy Mellencamp. And it's always great to see Tamra back on Two T's in a Pod because I just feel like it's not the same without Tamra on there. But she was also slamming Shannon Beador's relationship with John Jansen as toxic. And I think based off of what Jeff Lewis and Vicky Gunvalson and a lot of her friends and castmates or former castmates have said, that this relationship just seems like a not so great one based off of season 17 of The Real Housewives of Orange County. Let's be honest. This isn't coming from me. This is coming from them. But back to it. She said, we've always had a good friendship. This was going into the Heather Dubrow before we get into the Shannon and Andy of it all. We've always had a good friendship. I think coming back, not knowing where my place was, knowing that those things were said on the podcast, and then hearing from other cast members what was said about me from her, it really kind of spun my head. But now I don't think that we'll ever go back to that. Okay, so then there's hope. I don't want to see another Heather Dubrow pile up going into season 18. I think that if we do, it just comes off very mean girl. And at this point, it only looks like the women don't like her because she has such an opulent life. And that's not a good look for the women. Right? Now, following this crazy season between them, Tamra said that she and Heather are scheduled for a lunch date next week in Los Angeles. She said, I'm going to LA, hopefully seeing one of the 2 houses that she bought over there, hopefully both of them, and taking it back to where it was. So good. They're trying to form their relationship before going into the new season. Now, Tamra said that she doesn't hate any of her castmates despite the drama that they've all faced, but she did admit that she's in the worst place with Jennifer Pedranti. She said, Jen probably, but I think Jen knows I'm right. Her and Ryan both have been going after me in the press, and as much as I don't like it and it's coming out of left field, I don't understand it. It's not the best look for her. Okay, Tamra, you don't get to be the villain and the victim. And I really enjoy Tamra on the show. I think that Tamra helped save the Real Housewives of Orange County franchise. A lot of people were calling for her to be fired after the whole incident on the reunion when she told Andy Cohen, "You and be quiet." They're like, why does she get away with that? Carol Radziwill didn't get away with that. Brandy Glanville didn't get away with that. But then there are some housewives who have. Teresa Giudice literally shoved Andy Cohen back in his chair, and she's not gone anywhere. They even stopped filming while she went to prison. So I think that there's some favorites here. So after stating that Jen's boyfriend, Ryan, thinks he's a full-blown cast member on The Real Housewives of Orange County, Tamra said she believes that Jennifer will highlight her relationship again next year. I think she's going to want to come back this season, continuing all this stuff about Ryan, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not going there. I said what I need to say, and I'm done with it. Yeah, but she said that she's done with it like 500 times. But moving on to her biggest regret of season 17, she's talked about the drama that surrounded Jennifer and her romance.
probably how detailed the Jen stuff got and how it got repetitive. I should have just said my piece, said whatever, and just let it go. And I think that throwing the napkin in her face was probably not the best thing. When she said to me I had the hots for her boyfriend, I'm like, no, sweetie, I have a pretty hot husband. But going to the relationship, because there's another toxic relationship that we're witnessing on the show, and that's between Shannon and John. They split last November, but they didn't stop spending time with one another. And I agree with Tamra when she's calling it unhealthy. She said it seems like they have a very toxic relationship, and you throw alcohol and you throw TV cameras in front of it, and it's not going to end well. Yeah. I mean, she also said that Shannon, who got her DUI last month, is very triggered when her drinking is mentioned on the show. When it comes to the show, if anything is said to Shannon about drinking, it's very much a trigger to her to dislike anybody. But now, the Andy Cohen spat. This was something that I was shocked when I saw it. I think that the girls' faces, it said a lot. I don't think that many people get away with, it wasn't shut the up. It was you and be quiet. Most housewives, you don't get to talk to Andy like that. But I also feel like Andy realizes Tamra is a huge asset to the Real Housewives of Orange County. And this is one of those moments where you pick and choose your battles clearly. He had asked a question that was current, and then he goes and says, well, in 2022, you had said things about them. And I'm like, really? Let me answer the question. It's like me saying, but Teddy, in 2022, you said something bad about me. And I'm like, why are you trying to change the scenario? But Tamra did face a lot of backlash for her behavior, and she insisted that all is well between them. She said, I kind of have that relationship with Andy C, that I go back and forth with him. Afterwards, he didn't say a word. And then we were at Watch What Happens Live, and Eddie was like, I heard my wife went after you. And he goes, that's nothing. But they laughed about it. And there's people going out there saying, oh, she's going to lose her job now. And she went up against Andy. She said, no. He just texted me yesterday. But she did feel a certain way about her castmates going into season 17 due to what was said about her when she was not actually there, and thought Andy should have been more empathetic towards her. I made a point that when I was off the show, it was okay for the Real Housewives of Orange County. They talked about me in every single episode the year I was gone, every single episode. And it was the girl saying things like, she's Satan, she's this, and all of these things. So do you think, like, knowing me, I'm just going to sit back and just go, oh, okay, I'm not going to say a word about that. So yeah, I did say things. I absolutely said things. And I told Andy, I go, is that okay? And he's like, I get your point now. I mean, even at the reunion, though, tensions were high. And to be just quite honest, like frank about this, 50% of the job of a housewife is the filming process. So going through the entire season, the other 50% is your performance at the reunion. If you sit back and you don't say anything and you're quiet, you don't deliver, that's going to be a problem. You're not going to get away with it, and you're probably not going to be asked back. It's like what Bethany Frankel said, it's either kill or be killed. It's a zero-sum game. You have to participate. And sometimes they hug, shake hands afterwards, and they're like, okay, we're good. After they just call each other every name in the book. And sometimes it carries over into the next season. You don't know what you're going to get. You say things at the reunion, like my comment back to Jen was defensive, where I say, you're a piece of shit or something like that, or you're a horrible person, and I go, cheater, because I knew that bugged her, even though I don't give a shit about her cheating on her husband. Sometimes you come back with things because you're just pissed off, because 2 seconds before I said, I think you're a wonderful person. Now, I also have another video coming out later today that's talking about the casting part of all of this, but I did want to share the clip from Two Teas in a Pod with you guys so you got a chance to see what she was saying about Andy. Take a look.
After Andy,
he had asked a question that was current. And then he goes and says, like, well, in 2022, you had said things about them. I'm like, really? Let me answer the question.
What did you say? Like, you said two things, like off and
stop it.
You need to shut up.
You need to shut up. She also said, I think you send dick pics.
But I have that kind of relationship with Andy where I can go back and forth with him. Afterwards, like, he didn't say a word. Then we were at Watch What Happens Live, and Eddie's like, oh, I heard my wife went after you. He goes, that's nothing.
When Tamra snapped at Andy.
I mean, it just goes to show some people get away with a little bit more than others. But guys, I want to hear what your opinions are on all of this. So go ahead and comment below. And again, if you want to check out, I'm only sharing with you because I get asked about this a lot in the DMs. If you want to check out my face or skincare routine and what I use, the product is called Blue Mean. I'm going to put the link in the description of this video. Normally it's $150. You guys get $70 off. The best part is, and I don't even think I mentioned this at the beginning, if you don't love the product, let them know. They will give you a full refund. And I think if a product is willing to say, try it, you don't love it, we give you your money back, that's my kind of product. Guys, do all the YouTubey things and we'll see you next time. Love you. See you later.